First state we start is called Jagrut Avastha. Before we go into the detail of the explanation, I like to share one table. Normally I give it in during the presentation. Let me find it out and I will share with you. So table will help you to understand easily 4 of the states. Just give me a minute till I open that one of the. Okay, I'll share that thing. It is just for your reminder purposes, but it will help you to understand. Then I will come to the detail of the explanation of each state. Let me now share the screen. Pranam Monica. Pranam Avika. Okay, that was Sonika, I think.
Yes, RP, it's one of the same thing.
Yeah, because I'm just sharing, so I could not see the screen. That's why. All right, let me. Yeah, so let me now. Okay. Now I'm sharing screen now. Now you see that is a 4x4, I'm sorry, 2x2 table. Okay. So this is we have given a states of mind, and you can say the states of being. Will come into the detail of that, but first you understand this state, 4 state of mind. Yeah. First one is Jagrut Avastha. So Jagrut Avastha means awake state, and how to find it out which one is what state, that I have given a simple table for just to understanding purposes. First one in the top, I am reading the column heading, the knowledge of I, who am I, what I am doing, and all those things is there. If it is yes, then it is in the first column. If I don't have the knowledge of who am I, then the knowledge, that answer is no, then it is the second column, this second column. Okay. Now, in the row, where is the first row is knowledge of surroundings. Whatever is around me, if I am aware, then it is the first row. And what is in my surroundings, if I am not aware, then it is a no. I've just developed a simple table just to understand about this. This is a simple tool. Then I will come to the actual the topic of discussion, how it is the state of being. So state of mind, first in Jagrut Avastha. So awake state means knowledge of I is there. I know who am I, what I'm doing right now, to whom I'm interacting, how I am interacting, all these things. And knowledge of my surroundings. That means where I'm sitting, whether it is daytime, nighttime, what light is there, if anybody else is there into the same place or room, thing like that. So surrounding, and if there is a furniture, how they look like, etc. So these are all is the knowledge of surroundings. So if knowledge of I is there, I know who am I, what I'm doing, and if the knowledge of surrounding is also there, then it is called awake state or Jagrut Avastha. And it is the mind-wise, it is operated by the conscious mind. That is the that is the understanding of the first state. Okay. Now, in this state, now let me go to the actual explanation of this, which is the today's topic. So, in the state of being, the first state is Jagrut Avastha, which is this one of the first state of the mind. In a Jagrut Avastha, in scriptures or in the Vedas, they mention it as a Bahirabritti. Bahirabritti means, Bahir means outside, Britti means attention. Okay, so the attention is outside. And it is full into the objectivity. Objectivity means what you can see, what you can, touch and things like that, which is a physical nature. There is object. Our external world is full of objects. So our attention is in the external world. It is full of objectivity. If that is the, the situation, if that is the case, and then it is we are called in the Jagrut Avastha, and where our attention is completely external side, external world, and our inner world, or you can say the subjectivity part of us, the awareness, internal thing like that, is almost zero. Okay, completely focus on completely giving attention to the external world. So this is what is the Jagrut Avastha or Bahirabritti. So it is about everything about objectivity, everything about outside, everything about the objective world, everything about the external world. So that state of being, that state or avastha is called Jagrut Avastha of human being. Okay. So from this table, it is understand. This is just I use some tool to find it out how to do it, but the explanation is when is somebody, their being, their attention is completely into the external world or in the objectivity. There is objectivity, attention is 100%, subjective attention is 0. That state of being is called Jagrut Avastha, okay, or awake state. And it is, as mentioned there, it is operated by the conscious mind. Okay, as today's discussion is not about the mind, it is a being, I will drop that explanation of the mind part of it. Okay, but that's how we reach there. So if both the things are say, yes, I know who am I, knowledge of the surroundings, obviously knowledge of surrounding is there because it is about the objective world. That is there. So that is called Jagrut Avastha. Now, now, this particular thing, it is Jagrut Avastha. There is an opposite to that, is a Jagaruk Avastha. Jagrut and Jagruk in the scriptures, that is just opposite of Jagrut. Means it is fully conscious and awake of your true self. Like completely attention is subjective. There is no objective reality there. So that is Jagrut Avastha. Opposite is Jagruk Avastha. Anyway. Just for information, I'm saying. Now we are concentrating on Jagrut Avastha. That is about the first being. It is whether the completely focused or attention is completely in the external world. Okay. Now, next one is you go to the. I'm just pointing to this one. Like is the first column but second row. Okay. This particular thing is called Swapna Avastha. How to reach there? Swapna Avastha, or in English it is called dream state. So how to find out? Knowledge of I is there. So the way I explain it is in the dream also, you know which character you are playing. You know who you are, who is saying, who is running, who is talking, and all those things. So you know who you are in the dream. Yeah. So knowledge of I is there, but the knowledge of surrounding is not there. Means the physical surrounding which light is on, what time of the day it is, what is the color of the wall, which bed you are sleeping, etc. You are not known that time. Yeah. So it's surrounding of a physical body is not known. So that is the second state, which is called Swapna Avastha. Okay. And this is how we just quick test it is. Just knowledge of I is there. Yes, in the dream state also I know who am I, but in the surrounding of my physical body, I'm not aware of that. So that is the second state of the Swapna Avastha. So in the how to understand that into this Avastha. Okay, this is a quick table how to get there, but how Swapna Avastha is defined into, in the scriptures, it is saying that the objective reality is shaky, like it is not, you are not fully, like this, it is a dreaming state, and it is like a objective reality is shaky and unsteady, that it is not steady. Whereas the subjective reality, your inner, your awareness and that thing, it is traveling into that, into the cognitive world of samskara or impressions. Yeah, samskar. More of a thing you can consider it is your inner attention is gone towards your subconscious mind. It is written here subconscious mind, but in the actually your external, that your attention about the external world is shaky. Means definitely in this, it is a sleep state, dream state. You are sleeping, so you are not aware of the actual true external world. Also in the dream, also whatever the things are happening there, they are shaky. It changes so fast, or it changes character from one to another, and there is no logical correlation, etc. So that's why it is called that your objective reality in the dream state is shaky. It's unsteady, not logical, most of the time. And there is certain percentage of inner awareness, but they are traveling, your inner awareness is traveling in the cognitive world, like samskara or, your impressions, psychic impressions, whatever it is going there. Yeah. So that state. So external objective, that your attention is shaky, inner one is going into impressions and your subconscious. So it is, both of them are quite weak and not stable. Yeah. This is the Swapna Avastha. And conscious awareness is not there. Means you cannot, aware of that particular, means consciously you cannot do certain things there. It is just happening to you. It's not, you are not in the control of the whole thing. You are one of the character because that is there, but it is beyond your control. Illogically something is happening, lot of impressions or your subconscious stuff, your fear and many other things are coming and having their role play. So it is just like a, inner doldrum kind of scenario, and that is what is Swapna Avastha is all about. Okay. Now that then in the one of the, just let me get somebody in. Okay, so this is about that Swapna Avastha. Then during the sleep, one particular, once sometimes state happens when there is no dream. We go into the coma-like, situation. Our body goes into the coma type of thing when that particular thing called deep sleep or Sushupti or Sushupta Avastha. So this particular state, it comes in during sleep only, but some part of the sleep we do dream, and I'm just saying how to distinguish between these two. Another, we don't dream, not even we have any memory whatsoever. Absolutely, dream still we can have few memories sometimes, but Sushupta Avastha, absolutely there is no memory, no sense of time, everything, it is lost. And this particular thing, it is English, is called deep sleep. So in this case, if you go into the table, how we analyze, knowledge of I is not there, you don't know who you are, and knowledge of surrounding is also not there. So it is like called the Sushupti or Sushupta Avastha. Hmm. So, in the Sushupti, in the scriptural language, they call the pralayapamam. Pralayapamam means it is like pralay. Pralay means when everything is washed out. Hmm. Like in the world, the pralay comes means everything is washed out and new thing starts. So deep sleep is in that kind of state where everything in the objective world is lost. Hmm. So in the dream state, there is a few. At least those pictures what you see, those are from collected from the objective world. But here, that is also not there. So everything lost in the objective world, and uh, in this particular case, your inner experience is also not there. Subjective experience is also not there, because that is the time your consciousness, your soul consciousness, leave the physical body and it goes into the astral world and the further. So it does its own business, but it does not put anything into the memory. So that's why it is, this particular state is called unconscious state, unconscious, Sushupti. So then there is no such thing that which comes into the memory, and you can remember that it is that. So when you wake up, it is completely erased from the thing, because when our astral body travels out, or soul consciousness travels out, and leaving the sleeping body there, then it does not carry the brain with it, physical brain. So that's why it is not stored in the memory. So, but this is the third state, which is a Susupta Avastha. Now we go to the next one, which is called the Turya Avastha. Okay. What is Turya Avastha? It is meditative state, and it is, as a mind, it is written, is operated by the superconscious mind, but we are not going into the mind today. So this Turya means, it is in Sanskrit, its literal meaning is fourth state. Fourth. Yeah. Why fourth? Because it is Jagrut, Swapna, Sushupti, and then the one. Normally, in the normal people experience, it is unknown, so-called. Fourth or unknown state or beyond state. And that is the type of thing is given to the Turya Avastha. So the characteristic of this Avastha, what I have given here, even though it is not strictly followed, but I have given for understanding purposes. In Turya Avastha, you are fully aware of the surrounding, and everything is on. If the sound is happening, somebody is talking, and if some AC is there, you feel the cold, or fan is moving, etc. You can feel them. So knowledge of surrounding is there. And what happens in the meditative state, in the deep meditative state, the ego drops. So in this ego, when it is dropped, then that is called the knowledge of I is not there. Actually, it is a transition phase. I will come to the next step, then it will be clear. But for the simple table purposes, in deep meditation, you are not, identify yourself with your physical entity only. It is about your inner, you go into the awareness of your consciousness. That is soul-driven consciousness. That is more you are into it. And that is the state, is the Turya Avastha. It is a meditative state where your external, your identity or what you do and what are the things you have, etc., it doesn't matter there. So that is where it's called the knowledge of I is not there. So this is the fourth stage or called Turya Avastha. Okay. So I hope you understand the table. I will stop sharing the table, and then I'll go to this explanation first. I come back to the explanation part of it. Okay. Turya Avastha, to understand it, what the scripture says, it is in the objective world, which is outside your body, like I mentioned, there are the surroundings. Whichever is outside you, that you are experiencing as an observer. Okay. So you are not involved into it, but you are observing it. And you are also having fully aware of your inner, subjective reality. You are aware. So you are aware of this, your inner world, as well as you aware of your surroundings and things like that. Your objective reality and subjective reality both are happening parallelly in this state. And that is called Turyavastha. And in this, you can say that this particular awareness is in a moving condition. It's like a scanning. It is moving. And this particular state, if you want in the spiritual language, it is called Shakshibhav, or it is called witness consciousness. Like it is witnessing. In Turya state, you are witnessing what is happening to your physical body, what is happening outside you, even what is happening inside you. You can watch your thoughts, you can watch your emotions, and many other things. Yeah. So this is called Shakshibhav. And Shakshibhav is the representative of Turyavastha. So here it is, your focus or attention is in the moving or in a scanning mode. It is scanning, that your whole, both your objective reality and your subjective reality. So that is the Turyavastha. Now, let us come to the fifth state, which is in the mind. It is not there because this particular state is beyond mind. So that's why in the state of mind, it is not there. A state of being, it is there. The fifth state, it is called Turyatitta. Turyatitta Avastha. Turyatitta means beyond Turya. This particular, state is a very, powerful state, but it is happening where during, you are in the meditative state earlier, Turyavastha, but when you are into Turyavastha, then you go into the deep meditative state. Then one point of time, you can say that your objective individuality, your sense of individuality is completely dead. In otherwise, we can call that this kind of thing you can experience Turyatitta Avastha only when your ego is completely dissolved, or we call it ego annihilation process. Or it is also mentioned as a trio dissolution. I explained earlier what is trio and how it is operating. Trio means, I just repeat here once again, it is something is object. Suppose somebody is looking into an object. So there are three things here. What are the three things? One is object, which is seen, and then is the observer who is seeing it, and the observation, the process of observation. Three things. One is object, which has been seen, observer, who is seeing it, and the process of seeing this observation. Three things. So that is called trio. And in spiritual language, in Sanskrit, it's called Trikuti. So what happens is that when you go into beyond Turya, Turyatitta Avastha, that the observer, basically it is the form of ego or individuality or any association with the external world, objective world, that is completely become annihilated or dead or zero. Okay? So when that identity who is observing, in the Sakshibhav, it was somebody is observing, no? Something is observing, some entity was observing. But if this entity drops, then the process of witnessing also drops. Because this process is no longer exists. Who is observing? Nobody is observing. Then object only remain is the object, So it is called the awareness is aware of itself. Like if you are seeing something, Then that, but suppose you are maybe seeing a tree. Okay. So somebody is seeing a tree and the process of observation was there, but now observer is dropped. So there is no one observing. So the tree is present by itself. And that is the thing called the awareness is aware of itself. Like there's no one is observing. There is no reference. There is no such process involved. It is just present. It is just be. Okay. This particular thing, in this particular aspect, when we go into that particular state, it is called Turyatitta state, with Turyatitta or beyond Turya. So, and here what the objective reality is completely get disconnected, disassociated with it. No one is observing, and it does not matter what objective reality is, fully settled into the subjective reality or fully settled in the consciousness. And there is anyone is observing, nor any interpretation is there. It is in the purest form. The experience is happening in the purest form. How experience is happening in the purest form? Because at that state, there is no thought in the mind. You are completely in a no thought zone. And you can say that there is no mind. That is how the ego is dropped. Because as long as thoughts are passing, ego is still there. Because the job of ego is to inject thoughts. So during the process of ego annihilation, we go into practice into no thought zone. And then when thought gets dropped, then there is no control of ego drops, ego annihilated, and then mind becomes clean and pure. And that is the time you are completely rooted into your consciousness, and that experience is called Turyatitta. You are in the being state, you are in the fifth state of Turyatitta state. Okay? So now I just summarize this. So far, 5 points, whatever, I have mentioned, like, I'm not going to table back again. That is for just to point out how to reach there. But now I'm giving all 5 stages, the understanding. First is Jagrut Avastha, or it is called Vahirabritti. Attention is 100% outside. There is no attention inside. Subjective reality is 0. Objective reality is 100%. That is called Jagrut Avastha, awake state. Swapna Avastha, objective reality is shaky, and subjective reality, your inner reality, is moving into the cognitive plane where it is full of sanskaras and impressions, psychic impressions and things like that. It travels into subconscious mind. So both of them are shaky. Like neither external is strong because anyway you're sleeping, and the subjective is also traveling into that, subconscious level. So there is neither strong either, and very unstable, shaky, both the objective reality and subjective reality. And that is why you don't have any control over your dreams. It just happens something or other. Third is Sushupti. Yeah, Sushupti is in scripture it is called Pralaya Upamam. Means like a pralaya, when everything is washed out. What everything? Everything into the objective world is wiped off. But at the same time, your subjective reality, your soul consciousness, they also leave the physical body, and then it detaches itself and it has its own business. So that is completely detached. So that's why there is no memory or nothing is there. So in Sushupti, the objective reality is missing and subjective reality is disconnected. Okay. As I said, it is our soul travels on its by leaving the body. So there is no memory, etc. So no objective reality, and subjective reality disconnected. And then there is no record of it. Turyavastha. Turyavastha is a state of observation. It is a state of observation where it can scan through. Here, both, objective and subjective reality is moving. However, it has been powered powered by subjective reality, but objective reality, the inputs are there, like it is coming under the scan. And that is what that is called. That is why it is called witness consciousness. It can witness both external world, objective reality, and inner world, subjective reality. Both it can monitor what is happening, what is there, being aware of that. And this is called Shakshi Bhav or Turyavastha. And then one where objective reality is completely gone. And there is no thought in the mind. His mind is purified, it is completely pure, calm. And the subjective consciousness is 100%. And it is, and another characteristic is the subjective consciousness, it is settled. It's not scanning anymore. It is not moving. It is well settled into that consciousness level, 100%, and subjective reality is completely disconnected. So they are not, anyway taking any input or any attention, it is not taking. It is just like this state. This particular state also, Turyatitta Avastha, it is also can, you can say that it is a Samadhi Avastha, one state of Samadhi, and that is a Turyatitta Avastha. Anyway, so this is about the 5 states of being. So, but the characteristics I've explained there. Now I'll go into the states of living. Okay. Now, states of living, there are 3 categories. We have found out 3 categories. And well, it's broadly categories. There are plenty of them, but okay. By the way, before I go into this state of living, let me give you some interesting thing. Okay. Now, interesting. This is the bonus part of this. So, by the way, before I go into the bonus part, because it may sound a little complicated. So, first of all, let me ask you if there is anybody is not understood this 5 state, because it's very important to understand the difference between these things. If not, let me know. I will explain it again. Yes, Hariom?
Guruji, pranam. Now, in the Turya state,
yeah,
I is not there.
So,
observation is done by our awareness.
Yeah.
That is just I wanted to confirm.
Correct. And I means here the ego is not there.
Ego is not there.
External identification is not there. Inner identification is there.
Right, Guruji. And in the Turyatitta Avastha, when the Trikuti is dissolved, then what is the difference between Turya and Turyatitta? Can you define by using the awareness level?
Yeah. So to understand Turyatitta Avastha, you drop the table.
Okay.
I drop that because it's the mind. It is beyond mind now. Okay. So don't try to understand Turyatitta by using the table. That is table is for for basics. When who does not aware of the mind, etc. That's why I have prepared the table. And to be honest, it is not 100% correct either. Okay. You can say that this particular table, Turya and Turyatitta merged together there.
Okay.
That's why you are getting confused there. I understood. And I'm just explaining. Yeah. So drop the table from this business. So what is Turyavastha? Turyavastha means you do have your attention externally as well as internally. And but your and this attention is scanning like a moving. It is not stable. It is not pointed. Okay. Many things are getting caught by it. That is the scanning, and that is the Shakshi Bhav.
Okay.
Okay. See, I'm not saying the external world is governing it. I'm not saying that. Governed by the internal only. And it is a meditative state. You are in connection with your consciousness, soul consciousness. Okay, it is governed by that, but you are fully aware what is happening externally.
Right.
Okay, if somebody is talking or what, some cold AC is coming, and you can feel that all this is part of that. Yeah. So this particular thing is Turya Avastha. Okay. Now, when you go to that state, you get rid of. Okay, another thing. There also you have to have, like, you are some point of time you are established into the gap in Turya Avastha. Gap. And then again thought comes, etc. But you did experience gap, you did experience pockets of no thought, no doubt about it. Okay. Turyatitta Avastha is when you get completely detached from the external world, any external input whatsoever. And you are completely 100% settled into your inner higher consciousness.
Right.
And it means nothing in the mind nothing is there. It is not a gap. It is not there. Permanently, it is gone.
Right.
Okay. So this particular state is Turyatitta state.
Right. Beyond Turya.
You can say this is enlightened state. And that one is meditative state.
Right, Guru.
Okay. So this is the difference. So first one, consciousness is scanning, and it is both objective world and subjective world. It is under the scanner.
Okay.
And the Turyatitta is gone beyond the scanning and beyond any of the identification. It is well settled into the subjective reality. 100% into the consciousness level. There is nothing in the external world is affecting anyone.
Okay, Guruji, one doubt here. Now, can we say that in Turya Avastha, you are at vibrating at 700 hertz, you are touching and coming back, or you are moving between 500 to 700?
Correct. It is when you start the spiritual journey, go to the 500 plus is spiritual.
Right.
You can experience Turya in 500 plus. When you cross 700, you get into the enlightened experience. But the thing is, it is temporary. It's called Satori.
Correct.
It is enlightened experience, but temporary. That's called it Satori. Yeah, temporary. But when you permanently go above 700, that is called sustained enlightenment. But it's good that you refer to the vibration, frequency. So in frequency explanation will be, if you go and touch between 500 plus, definitely, but touch 700 and beyond time to time, that is your Turya Avastha.
Right, Guru.
When you permanently above 700, you never come down. You operate from there. Of course, if you wish, you can come down. If you have a 7-story building, you can always come down to ground floor and go back. That's not an issue. I'm not saying about that. I said you are a resident of that 7-story building. You settle there.
Right, good.
Okay, you can visit few here and there, but you will, but no need. You can stay there. That is sustained enlightenment. That is the one, is the Turyatitta Avastha.
Understood.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
God bless you. Yeah. Sharmishta, go ahead with your question.
Are these states that you just explained similar to what we call the delta, theta, gamma, all those states, or those are different?
No, those are different. There's the brain waves. That is different. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that is different. But every state has its own equivalent, brain, the vibration and harmonics, but it is not directly comparable to this thing. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. God bless you. Yes, Shubhranto.
Rajiv, is the Turya Avastha same as Savikalpa and Turyatitta is Nirvikalpa?
That's correct. That's correct. Okay. Turya is Savikalpa Samadhi and Turyatitta is a Nirvikalpa Samadhi. That's correct. Absolutely. See, these things can be explained in multiple ways, just like, you are now talking different type of Samadhi and this thing, and Hariom was talking about the vibration. It can be, explain by that as well. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. God bless you. Okay, now the bonus part, what I was thinking whether I'll put it in the part of the discussion or not. So, because it can confuse people heavily. That's why I was thinking not to discuss, but let me discuss. So that's why the 5 state I discussed and answer question first, so that there is no confusion, there is no thing. So those will be intact. Now what I'm going to say, don't get confused with it. Okay, the one we so far discussed should not be touched. It can appear like contradictory, but don't get into this part of the discussion, into the beginning part of the discussion. That is fundamental. Okay. Now, this particular thing, I'm just giving you an idea that why this kind of thing. States are this being, they are not 5. They are actually, they say there are 32 of them. Now, from where this 32 business came? So what they have done is that I'm just giving you a concept. And don't try to count whether 32 are there, what is this, what is that. It's not necessary. It will take days to complete all of this thing. I'll give you a few examples. But I'm just sharing you the idea from where the additional state came. This 5 state we understood. There's the different state and all those things. So now in this case, this particular Turyatitta, keep it aside. Okay, Turyatitta is something which cannot be further differentiated, or there is anything which is beyond that, don't bring it here. 4 states, Jagrut Avastha, Sushupti Avastha, Swapna Avastha, Sushupti and Turya. Yeah, this 4 state, this concept, the further subdivision of the different state, what they are saying is each main state, suppose Jagrut Avastha, has not all Jagrut Avasthas same. Each Jagrut Avastha have those 4 subdivisions. Okay. So that means if you want to compare, then Jagrut, Swapna, Jagrut Sushupti, Jagrut Turya. 4. Then go to Swapna, Jagrut, Swapna, Sushupti, Swapna Turya. So each one is subdivision, 4 of them are there. So basically, like that, they have the combination to have the different sub-state within the main category. So I will give you a few examples, take it just for information. You need to remember the 5 state, states of being only. You need not to fall into all this kind of thing, combination of different thing. But I will give you some example. It may sound interesting. Yeah, that's why. Just take it just for interest purposes. Yeah. See, Jagrut Avastha. Jagrut Avastha is, they are saying that it is a absolute unawareness of the internal world. It is, in scripture, it is called Abuddha. Buddha means enlightened. Just opposite to the Abuddha. Absolute unawareness, like a total unawareness of your subjective self, and you are absolutely lost in the objective world. That is a Jagrut Avastha. Jagrut Swapna Avastha. It is, you can say that it is the state. It is Jagrut. Yeah, main thing is Jagrut. Yeah, but it is also little bit of Swapna type of situation is happening, like daydreaming, fantasizing, imagining. It is Jagrut, but in between you do all those kind of things. So those states, sub-states, is called Jagrut Swapna Avastha. Now, Jagrut Sushupti. Yeah. Jagrut Sushupti means it is Jagrut, but sometimes, time to time, people suddenly become blank. Jagrut. But they're completely blank. They don't know who they are. Somebody is asking any question, they cannot answer, looks, like blank. and nothing is, they cannot listen anything, react to anything. They suddenly become statue. That is called Jagrut Sushupti Avastha. When there is no, no impact of anything. That is Jagrut Sushupti. Yeah. And this particular thing, Jagrut Turya, Jagrut Turya Avastha is actually, suppose you are, I'm just giving some example. Suppose you are, gone out for traveling into a mountain areas, and there is, for your holiday, you go there and then you see that early morning, you heard that sunrise is famous, so you can, from your hotel balcony, you see there's a snow-clad mountain and the sun is rising and suddenly it becomes, glittering gold. Then you will have some aha moment, no? Awestruck. Such a beautiful scenario. A natural scene. Or it can happen to any other natural beauty or anything, or maybe you can say some shooting star you got awestruck. So this particular thing called aha moment. This particular aha moment is, you are awake, you are Jagrut Avastha, but it is that moment you feel the bliss. That aha moment is similar to that kind of thing, like getting into the Turya Avastha. In the Turya Avastha, what kind of bliss you experience, in the Jagrut Avastha also experience that kind of bliss. So that particular state is called Jagrut Turya Avastha. So this is a subdivisions. So this is interesting. That's what I thought better to share with you. Now let me go to the Swapnavastha. Swapnavastha, so there is something called Sapna Jagrut. Okay. So, okay, and another thing that the Jagrut Swapnavastha, that I was saying that it is like a daydreaming, etc. This Jagrut Swapna can also happen if your intoxication is there. Yeah. Hallucination is happening because of intoxication, some drugs or alcohol or something. Those are also Jagrut Swapnavastha. Okay. Anyway, let's come to the Swapna. The first part of the Swapna is Swapna Jagrut. Swapna Jagrut is like you are in the dream, but here, somebody want to get in. Okay, Shubhranto, you raised your hand earlier or raised again?
No, it was earlier. I'm sorry.
Okay. Just now I noticed that your hand is on. Okay, fine. So interestingly, Swapna Jagrut Avastha. So primary is Swapna Avastha. Then Jagrut qualities are there into that Swapna. Means in this particular case, there is whatever you do into the Jagrut Avastha, some qualities you imbibe during a particular type of Swapna Avastha. In our spirituality, we call it lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming, you have that ability to change the character. You want somebody to, whatever you wish, you can, that dialogue you can be told by some character. So here, those are normally you do into the external world. In normally Jagrut condition, you are dreaming, but the control is not completely lost. Or you can, other way you can say, your control is still there. And this particular thing is called lucid dreaming. So this lucid dreaming is an example of Sapna Jagrut Avastha. Means it is Sapna Avastha, but you have certain elements of Jagrut into it, built into it, the qualities. So that is the call as example. I'm just giving. There are many other things that there. So that is called like a lucid dreaming. It is called Swapna Jagrut Avastha. And now also in this Swapna Jagrut Avastha, you can fully remember what is happening, when, which event start when, and what happened after that, and all those kind of things. If you're fully aware, that means your memory is working 100% during Swapna Avastha, and you can recall full the dream, and that is also, you can say, it is equivalent to Swapna Jagrut Avastha. Okay, then there is a called Swapna Avastha. Is Swapna Avastha within that Swapna. How it is dream in the dream? Like where you have you are dreaming state, you are dreaming, but in this state, the individual travels between waves of impression without, least awareness of their connection to each other. Like what is happening is you are in the dream state, but like a lucid dreaming, you are in a full memory. Here you lost that kind of connection. It is like, and mostly your sapna is governed by your what is called impression and psychics. You can say that suppose you have a fear, like suppose in the dream somebody is appearing, some student is appearing in the exam. And the day before the exam, that student in the dream state, they are seeing that he is going to the examination center and they're not getting the bus, or everything is, there is a strike, started running, and all this, finally landed up there and entered the examination hall, and that is the last bell has ring. He could not appear in the this kind of dream. It is basically governed by their complete subconscious fear, 100%, because otherwise this dream will not happen in the day before that, the exam. So this particular thing is called Swapna. Like whatever it is dreaming, it's happening in the dream, but the governing part of the dream is the subconscious fears, which takes over into this kind of dreams. And this is the Swapna Avastha. Okay, then, so then next is the Swapna Sushupti. Okay, so now this Swapna Sushupti is, what happens is, it is said that during the Swapna, when you go into the Sushupti, actually it automatically happens. You are going into that Sushupta Avastha from Swapna Avastha. In between from the dream state, by the way, one thing I forget to mention, how we can scientifically know somebody is dreaming or not dreaming. When somebody dreams, then rapid eye movement happens. The eyeball go ups and down. I'll call REM in the medical term, or rapid eye movement. So if somebody is sleeping and you put some kind of video camera focused on the eyes, then you'll see that eyeball is just like a dancing or moving up and down. That is called REM, rapid eye movement. When rapid eye movement stops, then the person goes into the deep sleep or Sushupti. The Swapna Sushupti is a state where the REM has stopped. It is not actively dreaming, but not gone into complete Sushupti either. There is a transition there. There is some kind of resting period, and that particular thing is Swapna Sushupti. Means you can say it is a transition between Swapna Avastha and Sushupti. Okay, that is a bit of thing. Means after that, they definitely go into the deep sleep. But before that, dream stopped, but not gone into the dreams, deep sleep. That is the state called Swapna Sushupti. And then is the fourth one under Swapna is Swapna Turya. So when this, when somebody is dreaming, but they go into the sleep with the awareness, means there are stages where normally doesn't happen to the people. Common people, they don't have it, the experience. But there are like somebody who in a spiritual journey, they can transition from that Swapna state to directly into Samadhi state or fully aware state, consciously aware into that. So basically, from the sleep, they go directly into the fully aware state or the Samadhi state. this particular stage where they go into the dream towards that samadhi, that stage is called Sapna Turya Avastha. Normal people, they don't have this kind of state. It is a fully aware state. And you can say that many masters, they can be aware of their dreams also. During dream, they are aware that they know it is I'm dreaming, what is dreaming, and mostly it is like a lucid dreaming, but they are fully aware. If the awareness is there, then it is called Swapna Turya. Okay, in the dream state, but awareness is present. It is not lost like a other state. Anyway, I will not go into the further things. Then that other one is Sushupti and Turyavastha. Let me see if it will allow time. No, let us stop it here. But anyway, you understood the concept, right? So it is each state has a sub-state which can be defined in a particular characteristic involved. So Jagrut Avastha has 4 such things like Jagrut, Swapna, Jagrut, Sushupti, Jagrut, Turya. Then Swapna also have Swapna, this thing, Swapna, Jagrut, Swapna, Sushupti, Swapna, Turya. And then Sushupti also having Sushupti, Jagrut, Sushupti, Swapna, Sushupti, Turya. Then Turya also have Turya, Jagrut, Turya, Swapna, Turya, Sushupti and Turya. Okay, they are all of them. These are permutation combinations are there. So those are that many states are there. It is possible to have that kind of state. I'm not going into detail because it will be like boring otherwise to go into all those things. But I have given example of Jagrut, main Jagrut Avastha, Sapna Avastha, so that all of you can understand what kind of quality that particular state may have. It is special quality, unique qualities of those states, but primarily one state, but goes into the another sub-state, and this is possible to be into that state. Okay. Yeah, Monali, you raised your hand.
Yes, Guruji, pranam. Guruji, like in Sapna Avastha, in Sapna, while we dream, we can see, we can have vision or messages from spiritual. We can have that experience, vision or message.
Yes, you can have. That is Swapna Turya.
Okay.
If you have any message, it is possible. Sapna Desh, my message into that.
Okay.
And that particular stage happens under Swapna Turya. Okay.
Okay.
But I have some because reservation in because most of the people think whatever is the Sapna they are seeing, they are coming from all the spiritual messages. That is absolutely not correct. Okay, because they are governed by the subconscious mind, our own subconscious mind. So in that governs it. So if somebody, suppose any master has to give me message, why it will go into the dream state? They can give me in my meditation, no?
Yes. No, Guruji, I just want to share one of my experience. It happened in 2008 or 9, something like that. As far as I remember, I saw Anandamayi in my dream. Like I went to her ashram and Anandamayi Ma was looking at me, but I didn't do any pranam because I wanted to go into the ashram. And just after 2 days, my ceiling fan fell on me, but that day somehow I was not sleeping directly under the ceiling fan. I don't know, I just slept a little far from just under the ceiling fan, and then at 2 p.m. 2 a.m. like that, the ceiling fan fell from my on my right hand side. It could have, I don't know what you will say about it, but from that day on, I think that Anandamayi Ma appeared in my dream, and after this 2 days it happened. So some connections I might have been with her.
Yeah, no, in this incident is a little different. Sometimes if there is any imminent danger, then masters can come and give you, because that time you are not meditating. There's no way that
No, it's
can
just
be accessed. That's
2008
what
or
I'm
9,
saying.
yeah.
What you experience is a special case. Sometimes the master wants to save us, okay?
Hmm.
And that is a time they can come, even our dreams, to, certain things to protect ourselves, from some imminent danger. It's possible. Okay. But what I am saying, other reverse is not true. If you see some master is coming, telling something or this thing, they are coming from your subconscious mind. They don't come. Normally they don't come into the dream. They have to give you a message. They can give you during your meditative state. They can give you, okay, these messages. And if you are not accessible to that way, they can send to any master. Master will convey you the message. That's simple as that.
No,
They will not
I
wait for
was
you.
actually I was not that much aware of Anandamyima that time. I heard about her, not that I read about her many things or something like that. So the dream was really some strange. I feel strange, and then just after 2 days it happened. So
Correct.
I
No,
thought
I'm
it was a
confirming-
blessing.
I'm confirming it is definitely she came, because it is a special. See, if the falling of the fan not happened, then I could have said it is coming from your subconscious. Whether you know it or
Okay.
not, it is coming. Yeah. But there is something else. Not only just seeing and coming and blessing me, telling beta bahut acha hai to aage badh. These kind of things, sometimes we think that we are getting it. That is how we get those kind of dreams. But in your case, it is different, because it is the master came to caution you and to make sure you are protected. And that is absolutely. This case is your Swapna Turya experience,
Okay.
divine experience. Yeah.
Thank you, Guruji.
Okay. God bless you. All right. I think now we have gone to that. The states of being part is over. Now we are going into the states of living. See, there are, as you've seen we posted into that during our the program, that there are mainly 3 categories of this living condition. So let me check what I have written there. First one is called materialistic living. The states of living, and in scriptural language, they call Bhogi. Means your materialistic life, you are enjoying your materialistic life. So all your wishes and desires or enjoyment or living is associated with the external world only. So all thing, whatever you have, ambitions and everything is materialistic. Everything is about the external world. There is nothing inside there. Yeah. So this particular kind of living, by the way, I'm not saying here it is good and bad. I'm just explaining the characteristics. This kind of living fully onto the external, materialistic world, attention is completely outside. And all our aspirations, all our desires and everything is from the external world. So in the scriptural language, they call it Bhogi. Bhogi means we are, like whatever your life you're enjoying or experiencing, bhog kar raha hai. So this is called Bhogi. And now if this somebody has now come into the interest, started asking the meaning of life, the Bhogi does not ask this kind of things, the meaning and what is there and why it is this and that. They're not inquiring about something which is metaphysical or like an abstract kind of thing, which is subjective. So they don't question. They live life external. Everything is external. All parameters are external. Way they choose things, talk about, and all is external. Those who are, because of many reasons, it is possible that they realize there is something beyond the external world. And some might have incident happen into their life. They started asking question, who am I and what I'm doing here? What is the purpose of my life? Then this question, that starts seeking the answer of this question, or they can say they are seeking the truth of life. That particular thing, their quest start. It is called sense of inquiry. It starts from there. Then their spiritually starts from there. It is a seeking the truth. What is the truth of life? Okay, it is nothing to about the external world. External world, enough information is available. So those information which are not available, and even though available, it is not understood, not logical, not meaningful, or maybe sound stupid sometimes, but what are those? The inner urge to go for that. When that happens, they start in a journey, different kind of journey. It has nothing to do with the external world. It is the inner world, and they are called, yogi, means the spiritual living. So there are different stages, of course, but when that journey starts, where it is nothing to do with the external world, it is about the inner world, but it is journey maybe just started or in progress or something, experimenting with the inner thing or trying to these things or had some experiences, or maybe in the spiritual path, they have some setback, like they got cheated by some fraud in the name of spirituality. So they get stuck, they recalibrate themselves and try to develop some kind of strategy till find it is worth doing or not doing, this kind of stuff. Anyway, these are all part of the spiritual journey. By the way, this kind of fraud and all, spirituality can never fraud you. Okay, just understand that. I'm just sharing I touched upon this. Spirituality is all about connection with your higher self or your own soul. If you are cheated, it can be cheated by somebody externally. So it is still in the objective world. It is subjective world. It is not possible to get cheated. Yeah. Only thing, somebody may claim they know the inner world, but they are falsifying. That is possible. But inner world itself cannot be, manipulated and controlled, because it is your direct connection with your soul, and that cannot be controlled unless until your ego comes in between and contaminated. Okay. So basically, who got cheated is your ego, and who got the connection, that is your true self, which is actually your inner guru that guides you ultimately. Anyway, let me come back to the topic. So yogi means you are in the different stage of yoga, union with your higher self. Your lower self is trying to understand, trying to communicate, trying to establish contact, and obtain guidance or knowledge or, something of that nature, or going into higher dimension. These phases are, you are a yogi. So you are in the spiritual, you understand, whatever can be seen, whatever can be experienced in the five senses is not everything. There is something beyond that. So those beyond part of it, when one explores that particular person is called yogi, and the path is called the spiritual path. That is a spiritual living. Different degree is different state is different. Okay, as I'm mentioning the differences, which is different, which parameter is different. Suppose a yogi. Okay. So what is the difference between the different types of yogi? Okay. So the difference, I'm just, again, for information only, that is your awareness level decides which level of yogi you are. Percentage of awareness varies. It is there. It is aware of its internal world. It is aware of the different aspects of soul, but the degree of their awareness, that makes a yogi, from which level they are in. And there is nobody else walking the same path. It is your unique path. But how much in your path you understand your higher self, how much percentage, that particular thing is called your progress. So it is your awareness that makes it happen. The difference that is. Anyway, the whole chapter is about yogi. Now, that is about the spiritual this thing. So that spiritual living, and that is that they are called yogis. Yeah. Then at the great milestone of that spiritual journey is called enlightenment. Yeah. Enlightenment is it is 100% you are connected with your soul consciousness, and then you've been guided moment by moment by your soul consciousness or higher self, and your higher self is connected to all the higher dimensions, and it can download instantly any information, anytime, any knowledge, not information, knowledge, anytime it comes to your knowingness, automatically happens. You don't need help of anyone. You need not to read anything, and all of this kind of capacity when it happens. And one particular aspect is very important. You have full control over your mind. No thought. You will be able to, or your will be able to maintain that, no thought. And ego is died completely. Ego annihilation takes place, so that absolutely there is no thought. You operate from your soul consciousness, not through your ego. Your mind you don't need. Mind is your servant. To the consciousness drives you. That is called the enlightened living. Enlightened living, one of the characteristic of enlightened living is it can download any answer to any question, any knowledge, any universal knowledge, it can download instantly. If one reaches to that spiritual state, that is called enlightened living, and those person is called Gyani. Okay? So this particular, three stages of living, or three types of living into this world. One is called Bhogi, fully rooted into the materialistic world. Yogi is in the materialistic world, but it has been inquiring about the spiritual part of it, metaphysical part of it. You're trying to establish contact with the soul, trying to download that knowledge, universal knowledge, etc., etc. They try to calm down the mind and try to annihilate the ego and all, like to go into Sakshi Bhav and things like that. So they are yogi. And Gyani is already rooted into that. They are already enlightened, sustained enlightened. They don't drop. They retain there. They can download any universal knowledge at will. Anything comes up, they can get downloaded, the truth. So the people, they are well settled into the spirituality. So they are connected to the divinity. Not only they know themselves well, they are also can download anything. And the purpose of their life is completely to serve the humanity, to help others, basically. This category of people, they are called Gyanis. Okay? So three category: Bhogi, Yogi, Gyani. Okay? This thing. So this is about the three category of living. Now, why I have clubbed up the states of living with the states of being? Okay. The reason is, I now wanted to compare, because that's the interesting study, that whatever the 5 states I have mentioned, Jagrut Avastha, Swapna Avastha, Sushupti, Turya, and Turyatitta, these 5 states, how each category of living, how they look at it, into their perception, what those things are. Like in the Bhogi's perception, or materialistic person's perception, how the awake state looks like, dream state looks like, that deep sleep looks like, meditative state looks like, and then, the Turyatitta, that you can say that it is a spiritual state, or divine state, how it looks like. Yeah. Did I mention any name of Turyatitta here in the expanded awareness state? Okay. So Turyatitta state. So how in the eyes of Bhogi, how Jagrut Avastha, Sapna Avastha, Sushupti, Turyatitta, how they appear. Then I'll go into Yogi. In Yogi's perspective, how Jagrut Avastha, Sapna Avastha, Sushupti, Turya and Turyatitta, how they perceive these states. And then Gyani, how a Gyani, an enlightened person, they perceive Jagrut Avastha, Sapna Avastha, Sushupti, Turya and Turyatitta. Okay? It is an interesting study. That's why I have given these two together. So I will now explain this about from combining both the factors. Okay? All right. Now, in the eyes of a Bhogi, now it's a just materialistic person. Jagrut Avastha, awake state, and awake state means it is walking, talking, chatting, checking phone, eating, driving, all these things. In the Bhogi, this is the state. So in Jagrut Avastha, Bhogi considers I'm awake, I'm aware, this thing. In the Bhogi considers that. In Jagrut Avastha, Yogi, how Yogi looks at it, they consider Jagrut Avastha as a state associated with an object or objective world. Or the physical body is like an object. Yogi considered the physical body as an object. So physical body is active. So Yogi considered that as like Jagrut Avastha is where one is associated with something, some object. That is Jagrut Avastha to a yogi. And in scripture, this state, what yogi considered as a Jagrut Avastha, it considers that Pindastha. Pindastha means the focus is on Pind, like the body, physical body or object. So Jagrut Avastha from the Bhogi, it is active state. For yogi, it is Pindastha Avastha. Well, Pindastha means you are associated with an object. Okay. That's how a yogi perceives it. And how Gyani perceives Jagrut Avastha? See, this is very interesting. A Gyani, whatever the Bhogi calls it Jagrut Avastha, awake state, Gyani considered it is a sleeping state, Ajagrut Avastha. Okay. Why Ajagrut? Because this are not aware of the spiritual path, not about your subjective reality, not aware of who you are, truly are. So, whatever perception-wise, whatever Bhogi calls is awake state, Gyani considers a sleeping state. Unaware, unawakened person. However, Gyani has all connected to the knowledge, go through the truth of this universe. So this unawake state, they don't consider it as a crime, or they don't look at anything negatively. And this part is very important to understand. They consider that those people who doesn't know anything about spirituality, there is no knowledge about the spiritual, no knowledge about their own soul consciousness, no knowledge about their spiritual power and things like that. They're unaware, unawakened. So they are just like sleeping. They consider that one day they get up from the sleep, spiritual awakening will happen, and they will know who they are. So they are just sleeping people, they are not criminals. So somebody is sleeping, that's why they are not aware. The day they will wake up, you will know it. So in this case, the Gyani considers Jagrut Avastha as Jagrut, the people who consider the Jagrut Avastha or awake state, they consider this as a Jagrut. They are in Ajagrut Avastha, but they understand that everything is a part of the creation. Everything has some role to play. And everything is happening for the good. Even though unawareness is also happening for it is a grand scheme of things, it is perfectly fits. This sense, when the Gyani, when look at it, they go into feeling, they see the external world as Sarvato Bhadra. All good, all fine, all divine. They don't see any fault or I'm better than you and nothing of that sort. They consider everything is the part of the whole. So in that case, we are one. Okay. That is what it is the Gyani feels like about the Jagrut Avastha or objective world or the external world. Clear? Now let us go to the next stage, which is Swapna Avastha. How Bhogi considers it? Bhogi considers a dream. Materialistic thing, I'm just dreaming. As simple as that. Yogi considers it as Padastha. First one you call Pindastha, like associated with an object. Yogi considered dream as a Padastha, means you established there. You established into the subconscious. That's why you are dreaming. If you establish yourself in the conscious mind, you are Jagrut, you establish yourself into the subconscious mind, then you are in Sapna. So it is just a matter of where you are placing yourself. Which part now you are, which, domain you are placing yourself. That's what Yogi feels. That is their understanding of a dream or Swapnavastha. Now, this particular, if it, from the now viewpoint of a Gyani, this particular Swapnavastha, they call it, they are in a Vyapti. Vyapti means that the people who are dreaming means they are in some kind of expanded state. That's why it's called Vyapti. Sarvatu Bhadra, all are good. But the state has changed from Ajagrut to Vyapti state. Because it is a dream. Dream is a little bit, expanded state. It is not limited to the physical limitations of the body. It can expand further in the dream state. And that's why it's called Vyapti. So they are in the Vyapti. Now comes Sushupti. Sushupti is a deep sleep. And for a Bhogi, deep sleep is just simply unconscious. No memory, nothing. We don't know anything about it. Even the sense of time goes. It is very... that's why they cannot understand that what might have happened in the unconscious period, where that time is just missed. Awake state, the time is there. Even the Sapna, to some extent, time is there. Sushupti, sense of time has completely gone. So they are completely unconscious. I'm talking from the Bhogi or materialistic point of view. It is just unaccounted time. Because earlier also you understood there is no memory in this period. And any kind of other activities, it is not, memory is not there. So it's a blank state. For a Bhogi or materialistic person, it is just a, blank or void state. Shunya, nothing there. Now, Yogi, the Sushupti is this state towards a Yogi is called Rupastha. Rupastha means establish into own form. Why own form? Earlier, see, we have the lower self and the higher self, right? So in the Sushupti, what happens, as I told you, that consciousness, they leave the physical body and it comes into its own and go into its own business. So you can say the consciousness comes into its own form, which is a higher self, own identity of the soul consciousness, that form. So basically, in the Sushupti, what happens? It leaves the lower form and takes the higher form. That's why Yogi considers that in this Sushupta Avastha, that someone is Rupastha, means it changes the Rup from lower to higher. It no longer associated with the lower, it is associated with the higher, and that is Rupastha. So, if we go back, what Yogi's perception, when it is a Jagrut Avastha, objective world, it is Pindastha. Now, Swapna Avastha, is established in one domain that is called Padastha, that is established into some place or some domain. And here it is Rupastha. Like you are herself, the Rup, her self, soul consciousness, not the lower one, the body and mind. You are no longer there. You are associated yourself now. You have a fully into your higher self, Rupastha. And for Gyani, this particular aspect, that Sushupti, is called Vyapti, because see, from Gyani's point of view, as long as you are awake or dreaming, you have to keep associating with this, connected with this physical body, which is limited. It's like a cage. But when you get in the Sushupta Avastha, you got complete freedom from these limitations of the physical body. It can travel anywhere. It can utilize 100% of its freedom and expansion and things like that. That is why it is this state, from a Gyani point of view, that is there, that period of time, they're experiencing Vyapti, highest state of expansion. Okay, now, next is called Turya Avastha. So, from the Bhogi, the materialistic person, how they perceive Turya Avastha? Actually, they cannot perceive anything. The Turya Avastha is like a beyond. Maybe they heard from somebody, there are some spiritual people, they talk about something. That's all. Nothing more than that. What is their characteristic? They don't have any experience whatsoever of Turya, meditative state. So, but they just have a vague idea that there may be something beyond these things. In other words, like a normal common person, a Bhogi, a materialistic person, they have only these three things into their experience: Jagrut, Swapna, and Sushupti. That's all. Other things they don't experience. And that's why it is just a concept to them. Turya Avastha and Turyatitta not known at all. Forget about Turyatitta. It means Turya is not known, but they can have a vague idea about there may be something which is they heard something and see it, read somewhere and see it a video, somebody sharing, that much. But no direct experience whatsoever about Turya. And Turyatitta is a completely unknown. It doesn't exist into their dictionary. For a yogi, like here, that Turya Avastha, it is yogi, it is it is called the previous one, Sushupti, called Rupastha, it is called Rupatitta. Rupatitta means beyond form. See, here yogi understand in Turya Avastha, they are in the soul consciousness, and that soul consciousness is the formless. There is nothing about the materialistic form or object form is there. There is no form at all. It's a formless. So that is called Rupatita. That is the higher self. They understand that they experience there is a higher self, the consciousness level, and it does not have any form. That's why it is Rupatita, like beyond form. That's how they experience the Turya Avastha. They experience consciousness, experience Rupatita Avastha. And Turya Avastha, in the Gyani, how they experience the Turya Avastha? This in the scripture there is a terminology. I'm just reading it, but I will explain what does it. It's a Sabbhapara. Sabbhapara means it is like penetration of energy into like a. It is the okay. Let me reword it. Okay, Sabbhapara means it is the expression of energy into the different forms or different like that in the universe state. Like you are in the Turya Avastha, it is just, they say it is a play of energy, like different forms of energy. It is all different expressions of energy. That is your Turya Avastha experience from a Gyani point of view. They experience it is a different energy domains. Those Turya Avastha, the experiences are different play of the energy. Okay, that's what they feel. That is their understanding of this state. And of course, whatever the Gyani experience, those are experiential understanding. Otherwise, they don't have any concept, and they don't have any, and forget about, they don't have any mind to analyze and think. No ego traits there. Everything is experiential for a Gyani. But this Sabbhapara, or that scriptural thing, means it is about the different play of the energy of the universe. The whole energy is playing in a different way, and that is the thing you are experiencing during your Turya Avastha. Okay, now Turyatitta. As the Turyatitta for a Bhogi question doesn't arise, not known. So there is no point. There is not even an idea what is it. For a Yogi, this state of Turyatitta state, they experience as a oneness. We like a merger with the source. That is the oneness. This oneness, they don't be there all the time, but they experience. When they go into Turyatitta Avastha, also they reach and they feel that oneness experience and then come down. So when they experience that, that Ekameva Madhityam, that thing, but Soham, I am that, this experience they have, yogis. That is Turyatitta experience, the oneness. So that is the thing, but Yogi considers it is like I am merging with the oneness, I am merging with the source, I am merging with the divinity. So there is some entity which is merging into her entity, or it is also known as the river is coming into the ocean and getting merged into the ocean. That is the oneness. This is Yogi's perception about this experience, how it is the merger, the oneness, the unification, thing like that. And Gyani's perspective, the Turyatitta is that scriptural thing they call prachaya, like multitude. See, let me try to go near what that experience is about. It is that, say, all the energy forms, whatever they experience during the Turyatitta experience is they realize that it is coming from the same source, that a same, source is permeating into the different types of energy, into the different realm, and in the totality. That's why the multitude is. In the whole thing, the whole universe is ultimately in the full, unison coming from the single source. And this particular aspect of it, it is also, you can say, this is aspect of the Param Shiva, like all coming from the Shiva. All types of energy, all types of Shakti is also coming from Shiva. Like Kashmir Shaivism, the different states, they have been explained, there is a different subject. But they experience everything as a game of that particular source of energy, or the Shiva, or the Leela of Shiva, everything. Yeah. The Turyatitta Avastha is just like experiencing like Shiva, or experiencing of your highest self. Highest, yeah. I'm not talking higher. No. The highest self, you are experiencing everything with your highest self. You are only experiencing. So there is Bhogi part is not there. It doesn't exist, Turyatitta Avastha. So difference between Yogi and Gyani. Yogi experience, I'm merging with something superior. I'm merging with that. I'm going achieve, oneness. Yeah. And this Gyani experience is like experiencing the source in totality. Or it can also say that it's the I am consciousness, that it is about the totally everything is that in the experiencing, you are experiencing inside. It is the highest level of inner experience possible. It is a source of all different forms of energy, and definitely all different materialistic form, the physical universe, definitely. Not only physical universe, all the realms, all the dimensions. It is coming from that, the total things coming, it is a different forms of energy coming from the same energy source, the creator's energy, or, you can say that is Om, the original thing, source of everything. That they experience. So that is what the Turyatitta is. There is so fundamentally, basically, if you wanted to make one point to distinguish between Yogi's experience, Gyani's experience, Yogi, it is merging with something. Gyani does not experience merging with anyone. It feels it is that energy, the expression of that energy. It understands the total energy. It understands that the different forms of the same energy played everywhere. Yeah? And this body, this consciousness is also part of the same energy, those energy only. So that is how they go, and that through energetically they track back the source. So that's it. And that is about that the state of Gyani. So with this, I'll just conclude our discussion today on this topic. And if there is any further question, I'm happy to answer. Okay, Monali.
So, Guruji, Yogi has got this concept of duality. That's why he is merging, and Gyani, he thinks that he is the supreme being in already.
No, it is experiencing. It doesn't think. There is no thinking there. Okay.
Okay.
There is no thinking there. There is no mind. No thought. It is just experiencing the highest level of experience possible energetically. Okay. Energetically, it is experiencing the same thing of a source of everything. Energetically. Okay. So basically what I am saying is, don't try to understand it, the comparison of the thing like that. But your first part of your question, it is a unity consciousness. Yes, even Yogi also, it is a unity consciousness. It is not duality, is not there. It's not good and bad. I'm going there because it is a good, and I'm living bad, going good. No, all good. Okay, but it is Yogi try to merge with that consciousness, and Gyani experience that consciousness. It is that. Okay, experientially understand, experientially get into that energy part of it. Means it is energy in end of the day. Primordial energy, love and light. Get into that experientially, direct. Yeah. Okay, who else? Anybody else? Any question? Okay, so I think there is no further question. So we'll conclude today's session with Shanti Pat. Oh. Sarvesham Swastirubhavatu. Sarvesham Shantirubhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhino. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhave. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Mangalam. That completes our session.